Welcome. So, in this explainer, we're embarking on what I'd call a high-stakes financial investigation. We're going to look at the ground beneath your feet, not just as, a matter of interior design, but as one of the absolutely most consequential capital allocation decisions you're ever going to make as a homeowner. We're diving deep into the actual data behind residential flooring. We'll look at cost structures, hidden fees, and even those psychological buyer trends that directly impact the illiquidity premium and ultimately the terminal value of your real estate assets.
But right before we get too deep into the weeds here, I want to ask you a quick question. Think about all those home improvement projects out there, right? Kitchen remodels, maybe a bathroom expansion, slapping on a new roof, landscaping. Out of all of those, what is the single most profitable upgrade you can make to your home? Take a guess.
Okay, let's dive into this because the answer is honestly absolutely shocking. According to the National Association of Realtors, the highest ROI home improvement action you can take right now, it's refinishing your existing hardwood floors. It boasts a staggering 147% return on investment. Let's put that into perspective. That means if you spend, say, an average of $5,500 to refinish your scratched, dull, but structurally intact hardwood, you're recovering an average of $8,000 at resale. You're not just getting your money back, you are netting an additional $2,500. It's literally the holy grail of renovations, paying you back way more than you spend. So, why on earth do so many people ignore hardwood and opt for cheaper materials instead?
Well, that brings us to Section 1, the upfront sticker shock.
The baseline assumption a lot of people have is that premium flooring comes with this impossibly high entry fee. And let's look at the actual numbers here. When you compare those upfront costs, carpet feels like a massive financial win on day one, for sure. If you've got a standard 200 square foot bedroom, you can just walk into a store, buy some mid-grade synthetic fibers, get it installed, and your total bill is going to hover right around $800. It's a pretty painless transaction. But check out the hardwood column. To outfit that exact same 200 square foot bedroom with solid hardwood, we're talking species like white oak or maple, you're looking at $2,400 to $4,000 or even more. The materials are vastly more expensive, and the labor? It's a slow, methodical craft that requires perfect subfloor leveling and really precise cuts. So that massive upfront capital commitment forces a lot of budget-conscious homeowners to instantly say, nope, give me the carpet.
Which leads us to Section 2, the carpet subscription trap.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that we need to completely flip the script here. You really got to stop thinking about carpet as a cheap, one-time purchase. When you look at the 20-year total cost, it utterly shatters the whole carpet is cheaper myth. In the US market, carpet is effectively a disposable product. Literally, from the moment it's installed, it starts a slow march to the landfill. It traps allergens, it accumulates stains, and it just wears down in high-traffic zones. So within 7 to 10 years, you're ripping it out and buying it all over again. If we look at a 500 square foot space over a 20-year timeline, carpet is going to cost you roughly $8,000. That includes your initial install, replacing it at least once, and paying about $150 a year for professional steam cleanings. Hardwood, on the other hand, that lasts 50 to 100 years. Even if you factor in that really high initial installation and the cost of refinishing it once over those 2 decades, your total cost is only around $6,250. So carpet isn't actually a bargain at all. It's basically a recurring, disposable subscription service that just slowly drains your wallet over decades.
Moving right along to Section 3, big box versus local dealers. We need to shift our focus to how and where you're actually getting your flooring, because there are some serious hidden financial traps waiting for you depending on who you hire. We all know the big box retailers, right? They lure you in with these highly competitive, super low advertised material prices. But the installation model, that is where the nightmare often begins. They use this double-layered subcontracting system. Basically, they contract with regional hubs who then hire local subcontractors. This leads to a massive disconnect and, honestly, a serious lack of accountability. And worse, those cheap estimates are hiding a surprise fee model. You'll suddenly find yourself hit with a $350 fee just to move your sofa, or a $210 charge per toilet just to reset it after laying the floor in a bathroom. Contrast that with local specialty dealers. While their per square foot material price might look a bit higher on the sticker, it's almost always an all-inclusive price. They use consistent, expert crews that have a direct relationship with the store owner, which means strict accountability and typically zero surprise fees on installation day.
All right, on to Section 4, the fine print reality.
So, let's say you do opt for soft surfaces, and you're relying on those seemingly ironclad 10 to 20-year manufacturer warranties to protect your investment. Well, let's expose the darker side of this industry. So the crucial point is that a warranty is only as good as the fine print. And the fine print from major soft surface and foam brands like Tempur-Pedic and Carpenter Co. is incredibly heavily weighted against you, the consumer. Installers often see premium carpets and pads flatten out and wear down within just 24 months. But if you try to claim your warranty, you might be shocked to learn that it requires a minimum 3/4-inch visible sag when no one is even standing on it. So if the padding has structurally degraded and feels totally flat when you walk on it, but visually springs back when you step off, claim denied. Furthermore, warranties are frequently completely voided by moisture damage. And yes, they explicitly include human perspiration in that. Literally, a drop of sweat can void the warranty on a multi-thousand-dollar investment. Your so-called safety net, it's incredibly difficult to actually use.
Next up is Section 5, the psychology of resale.
Now, the math is one thing, but how do buyers actually feel about floors in the post-COVID real estate market? I really want to read you this visceral, highly relatable piece of feedback from a Reddit user regarding ripping out old carpet. They said, pulling up old carpet exposes the fine gray dust of skin cells, dust mite droppings, and a giant hairball. Kinda gross, right? But it perfectly captures the changing buyer psychology. Millennials and Gen Z now represent the largest share of the housing market, and they overwhelmingly view carpet as an active liability. Because of this whole disgust factor, buyers mentally apply a massive renovation discount to homes with wall-to-wall carpet. They instantly deduct the cost of replacing it and usually add a premium for the inconvenience, right out of their offer price.
The shift in consumer behavior has created what analysts are actually calling the hygiene premium. This is the increased financial value modern buyers assign to hard, non-porous surfaces. It's all about ease of sanitization, allergen reduction, and visible cleanliness. Buyers are actively filtering their real estate searches specifically for hardwood. And if you don't have it, your home might not even show up on their screens at all. They view hardwood as a permanent luxury asset, whereas carpet is just seen as a sponge for allergens and pet dandom.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, your strategic flooring blueprint. So what exactly do you do with all this information? Let's turn this data into a practical action plan for you, based on current market data. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact steps you should take depending on your situation. If you have existing hardwood under old carpet or floors that are just scratched up, refinish them immediately. It's your highest possible return at 147%. What if you have worn-out carpet or cheap sheet vinyl in your living areas? Well, the data says replace it with LVP, luxury vinyl plank. LVP delivers the absolute best ROI per dollar spent because it completely removes a buyer red flag and replaces it with the waterproof, durable hard surface that modern buyers crave. Now, if you live in a highly humid southern coastal climate, you might want to skip the solid wood, which can cup and warp, and just go straight to high-end LVP or wood look tile. And finally, what if you have intact, neutral-colored laminate? The ROI data says just leave it. Buyers perceive it as a budget finish, so while it won't add massive value, spending money to replace it before selling isn't going to dramatically improve your outcome either. Whether you're planning to live in your house for the next 10 years or you're getting ready to list it in 10 months, your floors really do dictate a big part of your financial reality. So, next time you walk through your front door, look down and ask yourself, are you walking on a disposable expense or standing on a permanent asset? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time as we continue to break down the real data behind the decisions that shape our lives.